Hi and welcome back to this course on memories in VLSI. In this video, we will look at the introductory part of read-only memory, and also I will discuss upon two major types of read-only memory, which are nothing but ROM and PROM, mask programmed read-only memory and programmable read-only memory respectively. As you can see, here is a 2 power k by n ROM, where k is the number of input address lines and n is the total number of bits per word. Okay, and you don't have a signal called read or write signal here because ROM can only be read. ROM cannot be written into. That's why it is called as read-only memory, right? So ROM is a non-volatile memory that has high storage permanence but low writability. It is non-volatile because it stores the data even if the power is removed. That's the reason why it has highest storage permanence of all the other memory types. But low writability because it cannot be written into by the processor. ROM can be built with a single transistor if it is built by the transistor. If the programming device is actually transistor, it can be built with a single transistor. We will understand that in more detail. It's called read-only because it can only be read by the processor but not written into by the processor. But it's not that it cannot be written at all. If it is a memory which cannot be written into at all, why are we even using it? It will be absolutely useless. So there will be some mechanism that we have to carry out to set the bits of the memory, and that is called programming or burning here, not writing. That's because the processor or the microprocessor is not writing into the memory. It will not be able to do it in a normal condition. It will have to be done in a different condition or mechanism. Now, as you can see, there is a picture shown here, which is a ROM, which will contain a decoder, which is a 3 to 8 decoder, because we have three address line A0, A1, and A2, and we have an unenable signal which will control the memory operation, whether it's on or off, and the decoder will decode the addresses into the particular memory locations and or memory address line, the word line, and now you have these kind of connections shown here. As you can see, this connection is basically is nothing but a programmable connection, right? This programmable connection could be any type. So depending on what type of programmable connection we are using, there will be different types of ROMs available. Now, what are the uses of ROM? It can be used to store the software program for a general purpose processor, such as a booting sequence of the processor, which is BIOS, which uses mask programmed ROM. Also, some microcontrollers use EEPROM as its storage memory. And next use is it is used as an internal storage or secondary memory in mobile phones. So whatever you are having, your RAM and ROM, you'll say usually 4 GB RAM and 64 GB ROM. The ROM part is basically it's the flash memory. So even though flash memory is read mostly memory, I have included that here because generally it is referred to as read-only memory itself. So as I said, ROM has different types only based on how these are programmed. That means the programmable connection, as I have shown here, if it is different based on that, the types or classification of ROM has been done. Now we will look at two main types of ROM, which are mask programmed ROM and also the programmable read-only memory. Mask programmed ROM. The connection here is programmed during fabrication by creating appropriate set of masks. So you can say that it is not at all programmable. That's because once the device or the memory has been fabricated, you cannot even touch anything. There is no programmable connection at all. So all the programming that you have to do, it has to be done during manufacturing itself using certain set of masks. This memory has the highest storage permanence of any memory type whatsoever because it cannot be rewritten or changed its bits until and unless some kind of extremely high radiation or some kind of damaging is done to the chip itself. It has the lowest writability of all types because it cannot be programmed at all. Next we have PROM, which is programmable read-only memory, or also called as OTP ROM, which means one-time programmable read-only memory. This is because these can be programmed by a designer in a lab after the chip has been manufactured, and it contains fuses. The fuses are nothing but the programmable connections itself, right? So the user provides a file that indicates the desired ROM connections. Initially, all the fuses will be connected together. So the user can provide some file where ROM connections are indicated. The programmer then configures each connection in the ROM according to the file. So what it does is wherever the connection is required, it keeps the connection. Wherever the connection is not required, it simply blows the fuses. So that's the working of both ROM and programmable ROM. In the next few videos, we will see read-mostly memory and read and write memories. I hope you got some idea of read-only memory in this video. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.